What's up, y'all? It's your boy Roscoe P. I'm back with another one of my tales from overseas. This is the part two to the Roppongi tales. Before I even start, I just want to wish everybody a happy holidays. It was Thanksgiving here. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but in America it was Thanksgiving. So happy holidays, and let's get this started. So I last left off with my boy B. Headbutting the dude in the middle of Roppongi. After he headbutts dude, I'm thinking the night's over. I'm like, all right, we done. He's like, nah, man, shoot, that's par for the course. We out. I'm like, okay. We hit the Gas Panic. And Gas Panic is a place where you go downstairs, big bar setup. A lot of different people roll up in Gas Panic. It's a normal bar for all intents and purposes, but it's just like at the crossroads of a lot of different other bars. So when you come out, you get to see all of the people hanging out in Roppongi. And if I haven't mentioned this before, let me mention this again. Or now. Or if I have mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. In Japan, the trains stop at like 12:30, and they don't start again until like 5 a.m. So wherever you are, you're stuck there. There's no getting home. So you have to continue your entire night. You unless you take a cab home or, you walk if you live close enough. But for the most part, when you're out, you're out. You're kind of just there, So we're at Gas Panic, and that's the most normal part of the night. That's the most normal. B and I are drinking. We're just talking. Talking to girls that walk by, and it's just that part of the night is good. So B says, yo, I gotta take you after this. I gotta take you to my spot. It doesn't start cracking until like 3 a.m. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like 3 a.m. That's when it starts cracking. So B's like, yeah, I gotta take you to my spot. It's like a little bit off the beaten path. I'm like, all right, cool. We end up going to this other spot. And this spot was like, it was just a weird kind of place. I can't really describe it. It was in what I could only describe as like an office building. But you go in the building, it was like black glass. You go in the building, go up, and the bar was on the second floor. The club, the bar, it looked like a bar to me, but it had like a club vibe. Like there was a bar on the corner, but the rest of it was just kind of open space. So everybody was out there. And I mean, at 3 a.m., you kind of get the people that are like a little bit awkward for the rest of the night. And there was no shortage of that. It was first when we got there, the bouncer was like, hey, B, what's up? B has been a regular at this spot. So the bouncer's talking to him. He's like, yo, there's, just be wary because there are a lot of lady boys at this place. And B is like, why? Tonight's Saturday. It's not their night. And he's having a conversation like it's just normal. And I'm like, where are you taking me? And so the bouncer's like, but all the regulars are here too. Like, it's a really crazy night tonight. I'm like, him and B are talking. I'm like, B, what are they talking about? He was like, nah, nothing. Don't worry about it. Go in. Don't worry about it. We get inside. B's dapping everybody up. B knows a lot of people in there. Get to the bar. And I'm just kind of looking around, and I'm just like, it's people are dressed like, it runs the gamut. You have people that are dressed to go out. You have some people that are like dressed in this like goth kind of like black with black makeup, like women and men. You have foreigners. You have, like Africans. You have Americans. You have Australians. You have it runs the gamut. And this is like just the last spot of the night. So I go in, and he daps a couple people up. He's high-fiving everybody, and he comes to me, and he's like, what do you want to drink? I'm like, whatever. I'll drink what you're drinking. Orders two, we talking, drinking at the bar, and this African guy comes up. And the African guy is like talking to B. B's talking to him. And he turns to talk to me. He's like, hey, how you doing, my brother? I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm good. And I'm like, well, where you from? And he's like, I'm from New York. I said, oh, wow. Okay, cool. I was like, I'm from that area. And he starts talking to me. He's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, what borough you from? Like, where you from in New York? And he's like, New York City. I'm like, okay, what borough are you from though? And he's like, Harlem. And I'm like, bro, Harlem isn't a borough, man. So you're from Manhattan? And then he kind of like looks at me and he's like, well, okay, like I'm not from New York. I'm like, where you from? He's like, Nigeria. I'm like, yo, that's a far cry from New York, man. Like, why? I'm not understanding why you telling me you from New York. Like, I'm gonna ask. I'm from America, so of course I'm gonna ask, and I'm from that area. So, and he's like, yeah, I find that the women here in Roppongi like Americans, and I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. And I said, that's cool, yo, but like being from Nigeria, cool too. Like, why would you even go through all that? And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm giving him like a moral lesson. I should have just been like, all right, bro. Oh, okay. And so after a while, I was just like, man, look, just be proud of where you're from. Called it a day, represented, walked away. So it's like getting close to the end of the night. People are starting to file out. Trains are starting to run again. And I don't know where this guy was from. I'm not. But B was calling him the Italian stallion because he was from Italy. But I didn't really talk to him at all. And B was like, yo, watch my man work. Watch what he does. And I'm like, what do you mean watch what he does? And so B was like, yo, this dude talks to women, Japanese women. And then he unzips his pants and shows them himself. He exposes himself, but it's like, yo, this is what I'm working with. You good? And we won't be like, ew, nah, I'm good. And he'll just zip his pants back up and walk away and then like approach the next woman like that. And I'm like, I've never seen that a day in my life. In all of my years on this planet, I've never seen a guy talk to a woman, like try to cut to the chase to be like, unzip his pants and be like, yo, this is what I'm working with. You coming home with me or not? And then she's like, nah. And he's just like, okay, cool. Zip. And then that's it. So he does it to one woman and she's interested. And B's like, yo, he was like, bro, that never works. But he just keeps doing it. And no one reported this guy. Like, yo, this dude is unzipping his... Nah, nobody. So what ends up happening is he leaves with the girl, right? They catch a cab. And as we're leaving, like we left like maybe 45 minutes later, we're leaving. The bouncer starts talking to me. He's like, yo, did you see your boy leave? He's like, the Italian stallion? Yeah, bro, I seen him go. Like, yo, it finally worked. Like, he's been doing that for as long as I've known him and nothing's worked. And the bouncer's like, yeah, but he went home with a lady boy. And nobody told him that that's what's going on. He just got in the cab all excited. He was like, the bouncer's like, I know who they are. So, they didn't tell him that that's who he was. And I was like, yo, like, that's not cool. Like, he should at least warn him, but he just took him out. Me and B start walking back. The cab pulls around the corner, pulls up, and they both get out the cab and they're screaming at each other. The Italian stallion and the woman or man that switched at the time. That's what they were calling him. But the man that switched into a woman, they get out the car and they're screaming at each other. Screaming. And the bouncer speaks Japanese. Bouncer was a black dude. He was from Africa. Spoke perfect Japanese. and perfect English. Good dude. He's like separating the two because they're about to fight each other. And he's like, nah, the cops are gonna come. We gotta separate you two. So they end up leaving. So B's kind of sitting in the cut. B goes back. He's like, yo, what happened? He said that. So while they were in the cab, the dude, the Italian stallion guy, exposed himself again. Was like, yo, this is what you working with. And then the woman exposed herself, was like, yo, I got you right back. And that's when he was like, yo, go back, go back, go back. He started screaming like, go back, go back, go back. And I'm like, yo, does that happen often? He's like, yeah, man, more often than not. There are a lot of men that go home with women thinking that they're like, all right, I got this, I got this. And then it turns out that they're not women that the guy thought they were. You know, they were men transitioning to women, or that became women. And I'm like, it does happen here quite often. B's like, yeah. I'm like, why do you go to this place, B? Like, what is the appeal? B's like, yo, this is the last place that really pops at night. Like, it's still like, it's jumping in there. You see it, right? This is my end. This is the end of my night. Once I hit here, I know I'm not going out anymore. I'm going back home. Trains start running. We get on the train. I go back with B. I'm like, yo, just, tell me to go back. And at the time, most the basketball players, we lived in close proximity. If not in the same building, we lived in close proximity. So I go back with B. B's like, yo, how'd you like it? I'm like, and mind you, I'm tired. Like, pulling all-nighters is crazy to me. So I'm tired. And I'm like, yo, this is wild. This is like this all the time here. B's like, yeah, pretty much, man. It gets wild in certain places. But once you find the places that you frequent, it's crazy. I mean, the night just ended wild. I was just like, yo, I've never seen that a day in my life. None of it. None of it. And like, I was just really cautious about Roppongi after that. I was like, yeah, yeah. But it's a great place, y'all. If y'all ever find yourselves in Japan, go to Roppongi. It's like a mixture and a meld of Japanese and foreigners, and you just get this weird mix. It's crazy, yo. Yo, and that was my night in Roppongi, man. Listen, yo, this your boy Roscoe P. It's another one of my tales from overseas. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and I'll be back with more tales from overseas. All right? Peace.